All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you to everyone who's joined us today. We're so happy to have back again, I think for the third time, Shanté Haymore-Kearney. She's a warm-hearted nonprofit and trauma-informed wellness professional and community do-gooder based in Miami, Florida. She currently works as an education and outreach specialist at Kristi House Child Advocacy Center, but was previously a member of the Common Threads team. For the past 10 years, she's guided and taught thousands of people to connect with their inner peace and personal power through yoga, meditation, and mindfulness. And she's back by popular demand today. Please join me in welcoming Shanté.
I'm visualizing a round of applause, a warm round of applause. So thank you all for welcoming me and having me into this space. Thank you, Jordan and Common Threads and Linda, for inviting me to be here and to share these tools of mindfulness with you all and with your community. As Jordan said, I have been teaching yoga and mindfulness for almost 10 years now to, at this point, thousands of people. And one of the things that never ceases to amaze me is a lot of things, but today, especially, is the practicality of it. I love how practical these tools are and this knowledge and this information is. So what we'll do today is to really, we'll scan ourselves and get present to like where we are and like where and how we feel so that we can use these practical tools in a way that are efficient and effective. Without the awareness, which is really the first key of mindfulness, is to be fully aware of everything around you and even inside of you. Without that awareness, then we cannot create change. So regardless of how you feel right now and your state of mind and your state of well-being, just know that the first step to creating any change, to getting where you want to be, or even evolving into further where you're at, like if you're already in a good place and you want to keep that good energy, the first step is to be aware and to build a sense of awareness for yourself. Then from there, you can provide yourself with the things that you need and then to get the result that you want. So let's come to a nice, comfortable seat, whether you be sitting down on the floor like how I am, or you can be sitting in your chair. I know I've been sitting in my chair for far too long today, so I'm happy to have a seat on the floor. Pro tip, you can always use a pillow or a bolster to sit on because sitting on the floor is also not always very comfortable. So having something to raise your hips so that it's higher than your knees really lengthens the spine, opens up the hips, and it makes it a lot more comfortable. So that's a tip that you can use in your yoga practice or in your mindfulness practice overall. As you come to a nice comfortable seat, I want you to kind of lean back so that your shoulders are stacked above your hips. Most of the time we're leaning forward a little bit. So lean back so you have a straight spine, 90-degree. And then pull your shoulders back so that your shoulder blades are engaged through the back side of the body. So almost like your shoulder blades are starting to touch behind you. Palms will face up on the lap or on the knees. Think about getting a really long neck. So even pressing the shoulders away from the ears, one by one. So these are slow movements and it doesn't always look like much activity or much change is always going on, but be patient with yourself. Pull the shoulders down and back, hold it here, lift up through the heart. Feel a lengthening through the crown of the head. So if someone were to like lift you up nice and tall, awesome. And notice how it feels to also press down through the sit bones. So you have one long spine from the root of the spine that's on the ground or the bolster or the chair. all the way up to the crown of the spine, the very top of the head. So we're in an active seating engagement in posture. Pull the belly up and in towards the spine. You'll get really a lot more tension or activation through the core. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, just relax through the seat a little bit. See if you can soften the lower belly. Let the thumbs and the pointer fingers connect. We're just going to do some deep breathing. But first, I want you to notice how your breath is now. So without the temptation to change your breath, just notice how your breath feels. If it feels shallow or deep, or hurried or slow. See if you relax your jaw, maybe even open your mouth. Next breath out through the mouth. If you want, you can close your eyes and notice the muscles around the eyes. See if you can let them soften. Next, exhale through your mouth. Almost like your eyeballs are resting in hammocks. Just resting, relaxing the forehead, the temples, the jaw. Bring the awareness all the way down to the very base of the spine. So you may not even be able to visualize it. And if it's challenging for you to see the base of the spine or different parts of the body, that's okay. That takes time, that takes practice. But what you can do is just imagine that the breath is right at the base of the spine, and like an elevator shaft going up, you're going to inhale through the lower belly, the ribs, all the way up through the chest. And then exhale all the way back down to the very bottom, base of the spine. We'll do this with the chime. So inhale all the way. Breath goes all the way up to the crown of the head. Through the nose, exhale all the way down to the base of the spine. Inhale nice and deep. Just letting the breath go into the different parts of the body and hold. Exhale nice and slow. Four more like that. Inhale. Exhale. All the way in. Find space in the back of the heart, front of the chest, all the way up through the throat to the crown of the head. Exhale it out. Inhale, take it all the way up. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale nice and deep. This time we'll hold at the very, very top. Sip in a little bit more air. Hold, but keep the body soft. Exhale, let it all the way out. And gently release. And do yourself a favor, just check in with yourself. Ask yourself, how do I feel right now? Notice what the last thought that was going through your mind was or is. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up to the sky. Interlace the fingers. Flip the palms up and stretch. So reach and stretch, mindful movement. So leaning to one side and then to the other. And one more time. With the breath. Awesome. And then inhale all the way up. Exhale, press the arms forward, about shoulder height, arms press forward, round through the spine, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, bring the arms out wide into a cactus. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. We'll just do a seated twist. Take the right hand, bring it to the left knee. Bring the left hand behind you. So just a nice gentle twist through the back of the heart. Inhaling, long spine, soft shoulders. Exhaling, twisting back, looking back. Inhale, reach both arms up. And then exhale, rainbow both arms over to the other side. Inhale, find a nice long spine. And breathe. And then exhale, look towards that back shoulder again. Last breath. Head stays high. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. And then exhale, release hands down. So for today, we're gonna actually do some standing stretches. So from wherever you are, go ahead and stand up. I'm gonna adjust my camera and step back. I'm really tall, so I fit. Wow, okay. Okay, great. Separate your feet about hips distance. These are really good stretches to do midday. Just circle your body around. Take a deep breath, inhale. Deep breath, One more time, deep breath in. Let it all the way out. Come to neutral. Hip circles. These are, I think this is my top 3 exercise. You can see I'm in jeans. You can do them whatever you're wearing. So separate your feet so that they're a little bit wider than hips distance. And then turn your toes inward and your heels facing out just a little bit. Take your right hip and reach it over to the right. Oh boy. Inhale, reach the pelvis forward. Exhale over to the other side. Just a big stretch. Whew. It never ceases to amaze me how that always has some pretty intense sensations. Hip circles. So we'll just breathe. You can even close your eyes if you wanted to. So there's no one watching you. This is a great way to be mindful, but also stay connected. So through all the sitting, our body's constantly in flexion. So our hips are always being compressed. We'll do one more in this circle, and then exhale the other direction. With the breath, so you'll notice that this really engages the hips, the lower back, the pelvic floor, the front hip flexors, hamstrings. You do this at the end of a long day, or even in the beginning of the morning. 2 more. Awesome. Great. So I want you to stand with your feet just as you were. I'm just going to give you the side view for a second. You're going to place your hands, actually you can bring your feet a little bit closer together. They don't have to be so wide, so they can be about hips distance this time. Place your hands on your lower back. If you know you have back issues and you want to be mindful of how far you press your hips forward, but you're going to think about finding a nice long spine. Draw your elbows back. Press your hips forward. You can even bend your knees. And then press your hips forward, then slowly look up towards the ceiling. So notice I didn't just lean back, right? But I pressed my hips forward and then lifted up, standing back then. Big breath, inhale. And slowly exhale, pressing the chest up, coming to a stand. Spine is neutral again. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Just gonna do a forward fold. So forward fold, you just bend the knees a little bit. And then exhale, let's start here. Place the elbows onto the knees, like so. This is a good starting point. Elbows onto the knees, lean forward and relax the head. If this is too much for you, you could always have a chair in front of you, or you can have something to hold on to like a desk, right? But we're just hanging on here for just a second. Forward fold. If you want more, you can just relax your arms down and fold forward all the way. Stretching the back of the legs. If your arms are relaxed, you can grab opposite elbows and just let the elbows reach down to the ground. You can sway from side to side like an elephant's trunk. And then come to neutral, bring the hands to the waist, bend the knees slightly and slowly stack the spine. So press through the ground, start to come up to a stand, one vertebrae at a time with the inhale. Moving slower than we want to go. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. If you're feeling any lightheadedness or sensations, you can place one hand at your heart. You can have your hand on a dresser or on a desk. Feel your feet underneath you, just feel grounded. Mountain pose, so just standing up nice and tall. Lift all 10 toes. If you're wearing shoes, just feel yourself pressing down through the bottoms of the feet. Nice strong mountain pose. Pull the belly up and in, shoulders down and back. Same position as when we were sitting down. Nice straight spine, arms stretched out, palms towards the computer. Lean the head back just a little bit. So we got our neck aligned. Chin is about parallel to the ground. Really great for posture. And if you wanted to, if you know you have issues with your posture for the next couple breaths, you can go to a wall. I'm just standing against the wall too. Or you can also do that outside of your practice. Very practical. Last deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Great. And then reach up to your tippy toes. And exhale. You're going to find yourself back to a seat. So you can come down to your seated position. I was just about to say, if you're at home, but since you're at home, you can actually, now would be a great time to, if you have the space, by space I mean physical space, but also just like some peace and quiet, to lay down in what we call Shavasana, which is our final resting pose. That would really be great. So what it will look like, you could even use your pillow here. I'll show you. So you can lay flat onto your back, basically. If you were to use your bolster or your pillow, you would set yourself up with something underneath your knees, like so. When you lay back, again, you want to walk your shoulder blades close towards each other. Lay back. Hands can be on your belly, on your heart, or out to your sides. So find yourself to be comfortable. No rush. When you get to that place, you're going to move your head from left to right. Maybe even pick up the back of your head and then place it back down onto the ground. Same thing with your hips. Maybe just move your spine around. Maybe lift your hips up, tuck your tailbone down, and then gently rest it back down onto the ground so you have a nice long spine. If laying down is with your legs straight isn't a great option for you, that puts too much pressure on your back and you don't have a bolster, just bend your knees so your feet are down onto the ground and your knees are bent. You can even rest your knees against each other. You're gonna walk your feet away from each other. That feels really good. So just breathe. Let yourself have the space to be supported by the ground, the mat, the chair. Come to a place of awareness for where you are. And really check in with yourself. Check in with yourself as you would check in with your very best friend. Like, how are you today? And as if you were listening to someone outside of yourself, like your best friend, I want you to respond or treat yourself in kind. So if you realize that you're not doing so good today, that you're having a tough day, it's okay to be kind to yourself instead of tough on yourself. To give yourself a hug or some acknowledgement, just to remind yourself, like, you're doing great. You know, this is hard stuff. You're getting through it one day at a time. If you feel like you're doing wonderful, you're thriving, you're feeling good, and making the most of this experience, really acknowledge yourself. Don't be ashamed of feeling good in moments like this either. Just because there's struggle and strife in the world doesn't mean that you can't feel good too. You can feel good and still feel compassion for other people. Now just notice what it is that you feel that you need to move forward. Maybe you need connection with a loved one. Maybe you need to take a break, eat some food, cry, yell, have fun, laugh, dance, sing, whatever it is that you need to do to move in the direction of how you want to feel and be. Bring those actions to your mind. Be practical action steps that you can take. And inhale, breathe life into those actions, those thoughts. And exhale, trust yourself, all things that support you, that they will be accomplished and happen. Take a deep breath in. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your head from side to side. If you're seated, you can make circles with your neck. If you're laying down, you bring your arms and stretch over your head. You can do this if you're seated too. You can just stretch. If you're laying down, bring your knees into your chest. Wrap yourself into a ball. If you're seated, you just place your feet flat. Wrap your arms around your knees. If you're laying down, roll over to one side and then press yourself up to a seat. And when you get there, take a moment to have your palms at your heart. And to just acknowledge yourself for even showing up here. Remind yourself you're doing great. We're getting through this. The light and love in me, honor and celebrate the light and love in each of you. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. My name is Shanté Haymore-Kearney. Again, you can find me on Instagram and social media. Oh, there we go. Perfect. That's awesome. Inspiration by Shanté. So I would love to see you. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want to stick around and just let me know how you're feeling, either via chat or take yourself off mute. You can do that too. I'm happy to connect with you. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Common Threads.
Thank you so much, Shanté, and thank you to everyone for joining us. Up on the screen is our website with the link to additional webinars that we'll be offering, including our physical fitness webinar this afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern. And tomorrow we're back with yoga with Liz Davis. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Goodbye.